What's up everybody, welcome back to the channel, and in this video we are going to be talking about the Gnostic Adam and Eve. Now if you don't know the book of Genesis and the story of Adam and Eve there, I will pray for you.
How dare you!
Now to recap our previous video, you know that Yaldabaoth sees the image of the real God, Adam of light, and then thinks to himself, man, that guy looks amazing. Now, in this video, we are going to be talking about what he does after that. So after Yaldabaoth sees Adam of light, he then decides to make a human being. And then him and his minions, they get together and they make the first man, Adam. Now, whilst this is happening, Zoe, who's married to the son of Yaldabaoth, and is also the mother of Christ, sees what Yaldabaoth is doing, and she decides to make a female, and she makes Eve, and she does a beautiful job, a really beautiful job. Then Yaldabaoth, after he makes Adam's actual body, he then stops, and he's like, nah, I don't want to do this. And the reason is, he fears that Adam will become like him. That Adam will become sentient. Now, let's just pause right here, because I don't think if you are a Christian that you have noticed this. Because in the book of Genesis, chapter 3, verse 22, we find the same fear. The man has now become like one of us, knowing good and evil. He must not be allowed to reach out his hand and take also from the tree of life and eat and live forever. So we find in the book of Genesis the sentiment of God fearing that man will become like one of them or one of us. Okay? So that and the Gnostic text share that component. Yaldabaoth, or the God of the Old Testament, being fearful that humanity will become like him. So I want to drive this point home, that God is fearful that mankind will reach his level. Because in the Tower of Babel, remember that? Where humanity is building this great tower and everybody is working as one. That's great. I mean, that's my hope for the future. We find that God, he doesn't like that and comes down and confuses everybody's languages so that they won't be able to understand each other. And why, you may ask? God says why. Because he was fearful that man would be able to accomplish anything, and that man might even reach him or reach his level, whatever that means. Okay, so let's continue now with the story. So the text says that Yaldabaoth abandoned Adam like a abandoned fetus. Very, very graphic, and this book is super graphic. Anyway, after he does that, Sophia, Yaldabaoth's mother, sends down Zoe. Zoe is the mother of Christ in this book. She comes down and she breathes life into Adam. Adam comes alive. And then Yaldabaoth gets freaked out. He's like, oh crap, now Adam is alive. And then he realizes, oh, but Adam can't walk. Because Adam started crawling around everywhere. And Yaldabaoth was relieved. And then he throws Adam into the Garden of Eden. Now at this point, Zoe is ready for her creation, Eve, to meet Adam. So she sends Eve into the Garden of Eden. And when Eve looks at Adam crawling around, she's like, get up! Adam gets up immediately from the power of Eve's word, and they start falling in love, I guess. Now at this point, Yaldabaoth and his minions, known as the rulers, they look at Eve and they are like, who's this? Who's this hot chick? And they had unclean thoughts about her. And Eve, because she was from a higher realm, she could hear all their thoughts. And then she decides to run away. So she's running through the Garden of Eden and climbs up a tree, clones herself, and creates a lesser version of herself. And that version of Eve, so the cloned Eve, gets caught by these rulers. Let's just say bad things happen to her. After all of that crazy stuff happens, Adam and Eve are in the garden, and then something very, very similar to what the book of Genesis has happens. They were standing by the tree of life, and what's known as the instructor instructed Eve to eat from this tree. And this instructor looks like it might have been the original Eve. So she tells the cloned Eve, hey, eat from this tree, you will become wise, and you'll become like God. Great. So Eve eats from it, she gives some to Adam, Adam eats from it, and then the rest of the story is basically just like the book of Genesis. To the point that when Yaldabaoth scolds Adam for eating from the tree, Adam's excuse is, the woman you gave me gave me the fruit, and I ate from it. Now, let's pause for just 1 second here, okay? When I was involved in ministry in many churches that I was in, it was not allowed for a woman to be able to preach in the church because of a passage like 1 Timothy chapter 2, verse 14, which says, and Adam was not the one deceived. It was the woman who was deceived and became a sinner. Now, verses like this have been used to put down women in the church for many, many years. And how interesting is it that this mindset that we have in the church towards women based on scripture is somewhat low because of passages like this. However, in the Gnostic text, women are seen as literally a being from another higher realm. So remember, the original Eve was created by Zoe in a higher realm. And Eve was so powerful that she just commanded Adam to get up, and he got up. And I always wondered, why did Adam eat from the tree? Like, why did he do that? He knew that he wasn't supposed to, and Eve just told him to, and he just did it. Isn't that a bit of a stupid thing to do? And that's how the text portrays Adam, as an idiot in these texts. In the book of Genesis, he's not seen as that bright either, but he's still the main character. In the book on the origin of the world, he's not the main character. Eve technically is. This book is so feminist that it looks like it was authored by a woman topless with blue hair. Fascinating, isn't it? So I will just leave you with that. And I don't know if I'm going to be making more of these kinds of videos, but anyway, if you like this video, let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. All the best and take care.